have the greatest job in the world, and that's working with dogs.
Best in Show winner is the French Bulldog.
Winston won the National Dog Show. It was amazing. It was exciting. And to have a dog to be #1 dog in this country, you have to have great nutrition. And I always fed Pro Plan. Just like us, when we eat well, we feel good. And I just love that food and what it's done all these years to all the dogs I've bred and all the dogs I've shown.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome to Pure Dog Talk. I am your host, Laura Reeves, and I am so excited. Beth O'Neill has not been on the show in a long time. She is Vice President of Sports Services at the American Kennel Club. Just celebrated her 35th anniversary of working for AKC, which I think is some kind of world record. And she is going to talk to us today about this new, very exciting program that they have created to do junior handling regionals. So similar, and correct me if I'm wrong, Beth, but similar to the owner-handled regionals, but for juniors. Am I right about that?
No, yeah, we thank you. Thank you for inviting me to join you today. And so, yes, the concept is that, I used the same map that they did initially for the owner handlers when they first proposed the owner handled regional events. And that I've always had that sort of dream that there would be, this something happening in each part of the country for the juniors, and especially for the ones who may not be able to make it to Orlando, to the AKC National Championship, or to Westminster, whether they just can't afford to travel or can't travel, or maybe they don't meet those criteria. So, let's do something that's more local. And granted, as it was pointed out to me, that even within a region, there's still a lot of distance between places. And it's like, well, yeah, but that this is an opportunity to have events. So there'll be initially 8 is what's proposed. And again, based on the map that was originally established for the Owner Handler Series. And we request that clubs submit there's an application, a link to an application with the email that went out to all clubs. And that it be in conjunction with an Albury show, and that the club be willing to, AKC will sponsor $1,000 in scholarship money, but we've asked the club to match it. And the matching can either be done to provide funds to, say, your second, third, and fourth, because it's going to be conducted as a limited class. So the same way that Westminster or the AKC National Championship is, your finals are judged and placed 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not just a best. And, so that, we give some flexibility to clubs to decide how they'd like to maybe divvy up the scholarship money. And hopefully they will propose to do some other fun things or nice things for the juniors at this event, having a, goodie bag, something for them. And some of the questions we've received is, it is something that can be done in conjunction with your event as it is now, because the class is the limited class as described in the junior regulations. Some clubs already have a type of event like this.
Sure.
Which is just fitting it into our parameter. Yes, the club could also offer their regular junior showmanship classes that day, in addition to holding this. Obviously, I hope that they would consider, the judge for this, that it's definitely someone who is interested in juniors. Maybe it's one of our aged out juniors. Maybe it's a professional handler who can judge juniors. But obviously, hopefully someone who's really passionate about it as well. And we hope that this will be a positive. So the other criteria that we established for it is that it would require 3 first places in an open class with competition
Right.
for the junior to be eligible. We will provide the clubs or the superintendent of the show who would be eligible to enter that event, and that they have to reside in that territory.
That region. See, I thought that was really smart, Maribeth, because, I could see some kids flying all over to, and I just think that's so fair and such a great thing. I love that piece.
Well, thank you. It was, we talked about it. There were several others of us on staff who we discuss all these things, who all were former juniors themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, let's make it so that one or two, those couple kids that can travel,
Mm-hmm.
aren't going to run around and win 3 or 4 of these or something,
That was what I thought. And I just thought it was so great. That was such an important piece to recognize that there are quality juniors all throughout this country.
Oh, absolutely. And also so that the wins do not all have to occur within the region, but they have to live in that region of the country so that they can, again, and hopefully that the clubs that do apply to host this will really try to make something special for the juniors. One of the things we ask on the application is, what is your current junior entry? And, not that would be the only component. Obviously, it's not that we would look at, but, do you already get an entry, and do you,
Sure.
let's be considerate about it. And I would hope it at least, and it's hard to say with year-round schooling but it might be preferable if it were on a weekend, on a Saturday or Sunday, and not a Thursday show.
Yes. I think that's a big deal, actually.
So it could, because even with, a summer show, sometimes it's, you just can't get there until the weekend, until Saturday or Sunday. So,
well, mom and dad work, right? I mean,
Right. So whomever may be your transit is limited in when you get there. So it's exciting, and we're looking forward to some great applications. As I said, we've had a lot of questions. I think we have 2 or 3 already in, and it's only been a week, so that's a positive.
Right. So, and this is going to start, it's not going to start until 2026, but you've got to get these shows lined up. So it's probably not going to be till, you think, maybe later in the year in 26 when you get this started?
Well, we hope to have, I think that the deadline for them to submit applications is the first week in December. So yes, we'd like to have that firmed up pretty quickly so that clubs can start planning. So I would doubt that there'll be any in the first quarter of 26, but we certainly will look to see, or hope that maybe some clubs that apply may be holding shows in April, May, and and it'll work for them.
Yeah, right.
Trupanion is revolutionizing medical insurance for pets by providing the best possible experience to our members. And it's not some space-age dream. It's happening now. We pay your veterinarian directly while you're checking out, and we're the only ones who can, which means you have decisions in seconds, and you don't have to wait for reimbursement. So unlike with other providers, you'll keep more money in your pocket. Ask your veterinarian if Trupanion can pay them directly, because there's pet insurance, and then there's Trupanion.
And talk to us about, I mean, I know you said the map of the owner-handled regions and stuff, but give us a real, like, I glanced at it, but you're going to have this better off the top of your head. Like, there's a Pacific Northwest and there's a Southwest, and broken out into 8 groups, right?
Yes. So you would ask me that. Let me pull it up real quick.
I'm literally trying to picture it in my mind.
Anyway, so there's New England, there's Middle Atlantic, but that included New York. Then there's,
I saw that Northeast part was broken into 2, which I thought was good.
The density, and I think that was part of how the an OHS map was drawn, was really based on the density of events and
Yeah.
shows. So the entry fee that, well, it is actually in the
Yeah.
criteria that it be, if it can be a lower entry
Mhm.
fee as the club can afford, that would be
Mhm.
certainly appreciated. Um, so that it is, again, something hopefully special. Hopefully it will bring some entries to your event, because if they're going to come, I'm sure they'll show anyway. So the regions are New England, which includes New York. um, Mid-East is how it's referred to,
Yeah.
which is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, West Virginia. And no, then there's Southeast, which is North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Florida. And then the Great Lakes, which are the states, Ohio, it does include Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, the Plains states, um, which goes as far west as, yeah, Nebraska's included, and Kansas,
Mhm.
Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, the Dakotas, the Northwest and the Southwest, and then South Central. So it's South Central is Colorado, New
Yeah.
Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and then
And
so
Arizona went over to California, right?
Arizona and Utah, Nevada, and California are the Southwest.
Yeah.
And then it does have Hawaii with the Southwest and Alaska with the Northwest, but
Oh,
I
interesting.
think
Good.
we can be flexible. We'll consider some, maybe not a ninth option or so, or 10th even, because
Hmm.
that's understandably that would be a real stretch for them
Hmm.
to come, to travel that far. So anyway, it's open for um, applications to be received, and we're looking forward to receiving. And if there are any questions, we're happy to try to respond to them.
So I think it's really fantastic the amount of effort that you have gone over the years to focus on juniors. When we first talked on the show, we were talking about the junior showmanship in Orlando at the AKC National Championship, and you personally supervise all of these big shows, right? Westminster and Orlando. What other types of things? I'm kind of putting you on the spot, so you can tell me no if you want to. But what other types of things are you hoping to do going forward? I mean, you and I have talked
Well,
multiple times about education opportunities and all that kind of stuff.
right. So one of the things that's really grown, we have a subcommittee from, or it's a task force that the board appointed, that of people, and we discussed what else can we do for juniors. And obviously, education is a big component. And a couple clubs have already, instead of just having a junior clinic where they're literally doing, and not that that isn't important to do
Mm-hmm.
hands-on, and then do something for the kids, whether it's pizza or something, that there's some educational presentation given
Mm-hmm.
just to that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this year, for the second year, there will be a whole section dedicated to juniors in the Learning Lounge in Orlando, and so, and with topics geared for juniors, and some given by former juniors. Um, and then we also, this year in Orlando, are offering it's sort of a combo bingo game, scavenger hunt.
Nice.
So juniors, well, any junior present, they don't have to be entered in on Saturday. They may be exhibiting in obedience, agility, or rally.
Mm-hmm.
So they can come and pick up their card at the AKC booth anytime during the week, and then you have to go and find the person identified or what. So it may say a photographer, it may say superintendent, it may say a professional handler. It may be find an exhibitor of a FSS breed or a miscellaneous breed. So there's a whole, and then there's some things that go into a little more depth. So you have to find someone and have them sign that square. And then when your card is completed, you return it to the booth. And there will be Royal Canin is helping support this. And in addition, so what they're doing is if you attend a Learning Lounge class, you'll receive their coins.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do this scavenger hunt bingo card, you'll get a coin. So, and those are all things that you can redeem at their shop. So, but fun, something a little different to try. Again, we keep trying these different types of things. The other thing that we have been doing now for several years is in Orlando, we also award our scholarships for our juniors who are versatility junior scholarships.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's the juniors who have competed in 3 or more titling sports through the time frame that's July 1 to June 30th. And that's so that we can have all the results are compiled and everything can be acknowledged before, like now, so that it's all completed and done. And we can also check on who's going to be there and who's not. But what the incentive was to, let's try some other sports. And now that we have things like Fast Cat, or something that requires more than one pass, so fetch could even be included in this. The number of juniors that are participating in more than 3 events has really grown, and we're thrilled to see that and thrilled to see that there's interest, and there's more things you can do with your dogs and enjoy it.
I have to tell you, Mary Beth, I was at the Wire Hair Pointer National just right last month, and there was this little girl, I'm telling you, 13 years old, up on her horse at the field trial, running her dog in the national championship. And I think she placed in one of the events. I mean, this kid, she made the callbacks, and that was it. She made the callbacks in one of the events, and I was blown away. This kid was amazing.
Well, and I'm thrilled that in our top 10, 2 of them are involved with hunt tests and field trials.
Mm-hmm.
And that's phenomenal. And also a breeder that have already bred their first litters or more, and now handling dogs to titles in these different events. But the ones who are out there doing the form follows function and competing in those field events is exciting for me to see that there, and I hope it shows that there will be a future for those sports.
That'd be great.
And that there are people who will continue to care about the history and the function of these breeds. So it's not that the rest of our sports aren't exciting and important and fun, but they're the heart and soul. That is what we started from. We're the field trialers. So anyway, so we're excited about those coming up, and that they're to see more and more juniors. And then the other thing that Gina proposed was the sportsmanship awards.
Oh, nice.
And so actually the deadline to receive applications, and this is where someone sort of nominates an individual.
Okay.
So there's an adult nominee of sportsmanship and the juniors. But for the juniors, we specified on the application the AKC Outstanding Junior Sportsmanship Award, that the Junior Showmanship Awards honor those juniors who deserve special recognition that have made a difference in the sport of purebred dogs, whether it's confirmation, companion, or performance events, and have been an active and valued member of an AKC member club.
Oh, good.
They embody the AKC Code of Sportsmanship. And so it's been exciting reviewing those. And I would say if it's a licensed club, if as long as they are doing something for a club, that's the key thing, because we do realize that there are clubs that don't even have junior memberships, but
Yeah, right.
they're there, they're volunteering. If their club takes upon themselves to nominate juniors who have been involved, and that they see that these young people are doing positive things for them, their
Yeah.
breed, the future of the breed, the future of the sport,
Mm-hmm.
future of the club.
Right.
So
And so you
we're
said nominations are due for that when? And where do they find
today.
that? Oh, today.
Today is the deadline.
Oh, bummer. Okay. Well, the
You know,
podcast will not drop today, so that won't help.
no, that's all right. But that's
For next year.
So
Yep.
exactly, and the winners will be invited to Orlando.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So
So
something else for people to watch for at Orlando. I'm assuming those will be announced there along with all the other big award winners.
I'm sure there's some of these things that are, these are the first time we're doing these, so we'll
Yeah.
see how that plays out. And because of the multiple hats we all wear, I don't know.
Anything could happen. It's a mystery.
Well, and I'm sort of the overseer of the puppy stakes on Friday, and that's become an all-consuming event unto itself. So
It's huge. That is just enormous, that puppy stakes.
it's exciting. I have to say, I think over the last few years we've seen some. It's exciting to see people bring out new dogs just for that,
Right.
or dogs that there are a couple of dogs that I know finished as puppies, and they're like, yeah, but we're going to bring them to Orlando. We're going to bring it to Orlando for the puppy stakes.
Right.
I'm like, oh, cool. That'll be so. So it is. It's always exciting to see, what the new crop of youngsters are coming along, and
Young
the
people,
enthusiasm.
youngsters, 2-legged and 4. How's that?
And four-legged. Yes, we have, and this year we have. I think it's a pretty high number. We have 190 juniors that met both criteria.
Oh
for
my.
the championship. So,
Holy crap.
yeah, no, that's very high. And I know there are over 30 kids in agility and 11 or 12 in obedience and rally. So it's
Wow.
it's a big event.
Wow. That is fantastic. And, I think you're doing the Lord's work, man. You're really doing all the things that you can do to encourage kids in the sport. And I think that is so critical.
I'm thankful that there's lots of others who are taking on the challenge as well, and there are a lot of other very passionate people. This junior task force has been very positive in helping to promote doing more and more for juniors. So all the members of the task force are to be commended for what we have been able to accomplish, and that's a biggie.
Love it.
So.
All right, you guys. So you're going to be watching for the shows next year that are going to have the regional junior handler events, right? We're calling them regional junior handler events.
We're calling it the Regional Limited Confirmation Junior Showmanship Event.
Okay, good. That's a mouthful.
And
I'm
with
just
that,
saying, juniors events. That's what I got.
regional junior competitions. That'll work.
Yes, that works. So we're going to watch for where those are. If you guys have not already gotten your stuff together, your poop in a group, as they say, for Orlando, chop chop. Now is the hour.
Yes,
Sounds
just
like there's going to
remember
be a lot of great stuff.
entries close for Orlando earlier than
Oh,
other shows.
yes, earlier
So
than other shows.
entries close Wednesday, November 5th. Oh, that's this
Tomorrow.
week.
Okay. If you haven't already, it's too late to enter Orlando. It closed November 5th. But if you have entered Orlando, definitely check for all of the juniors learning opportunities that are going to be available. How's that?
Exactly. Thank you.
Perfect.
All
Perfect.
right. Well,
All
I
right.
think
Well, Mary Beth, thank you so much. As always, you
thank you.
you are a treasure, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you down the road.
All right. Sounds good.